Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Taste here in Marietta, Oklahoma. We're live for the Love County Coaches Show, a very special edition of this one, as it's a special week in Love County. It's state championship softball week. We've got Coach E.J. Forsyth with us, as well as Addison, and she's a shortstop relief pitcher for the Turner Lady Falcons. Thank you guys so much for being here.
You're welcome.
This is a football show, but excited to do a softball edition. I've done a coaches show in this area for, I don't know, since like 2019 or something like that. Never gotten to do another sport besides football, so I'm really excited for this. You guys have a big week. The state tournament starts tomorrow. Coach, your first year here, it's got to feel exciting to be there.
Yes, it is. We're very excited.
So talk to me about it. Tomorrow you guys play Arnett, 6:30 in Shawnee. Not too bad of a drive. I'm sure you guys going to get a hotel up there, things like that, and make the best out of it, right?
Yeah, we got a hotel. We got a hotel for 3 days. So that's because we plan on staying there for 3 nights.
That's what I was about to say. You guys are ranked number 1, so they're expecting you guys to be there all 3 days, right?
That's right. They better be.
32-5 on the season. All 5 of those losses to higher classification teams. You're 10-0 against Class B teams. I feel like the biggest storyline with you guys is you guys weren't supposed to be this good, right? You're not supposed to be number 1 right now. Tell everybody about it. Why are you number 1 right now?
I think that depends on who you talk to.
Right, exactly.
You know, the people at Turner, I think that they're behind it. They believe,
Sure,
So
absolutely.
maybe people outside, but the people at Turner and this team, we come in the season, we believe it's going to be number 1. So that just depends on who you talk to.
Well, there were some things said about how some people graduated. Obviously, whenever you lose some of your key players, everybody kind of assumes that you may not be as good. So what was the key here? What's the secret sauce right now?
It's, we got these girls from the first day I got here. They bought in, they work hard, and the tradition that Turner has, it's not like this is their first year.
Sure, absolutely.
So they've been there year in, year out, so it's nothing new to them. So we just work hard, and expect to win every game we go play.
So talk to me about the chemistry here with this team. Is this one of the better groups that you've had as far as just clicking, just the natural softball IQ?
Softball IQ. Now, it depends on what day, how they're getting along sometimes.
Well, that's just high school girls, right?
They've been good. They've been awesome. They've been
sure,
good.
Absolutely. How about this year? I mean, have you guys been at the mountaintop all year long, or has it been kind of rocky up and down?
We've stayed there.
Stayed there, absolutely. Absolutely. So, I mean, what would it mean for you, your first year here, and obviously the whole community, to go up to Shawnee this week and get the job done, be there all 3 days, and bring home a trophy?
To me, I tell these girls all the time, for me, it'd be a lot, a dream, But first off, it's not easy to get there.
No.
That's a lot of people think that it's not easy to get there. I mean, and if you get there and you win it, that's a dream for me. And I know these girls, it is for them too, because they've been there. They've come close, but this year, that dream's going to come true because we're going to win the state championship.
So excuse my lack of knowledge. I don't know a lot about your background. Is this your first trip to the tournament as a head coach?
It will be as a head coach, yes, sir. Yeah.
So what's that like for you? I mean, this week's got to be a little emotional as well as exciting.
It's been hectic, I'll tell you that. I was telling my assistant, Coach Garrett, that I don't know that I've ever had to deal with news and newspapers, and as much as I had.
Darn sure not the Marietta Monitor like this, right?
Yeah, but it's been good. No, it's been great. It's been great.
Absolutely. Hey, Addison, let's talk to you a little bit. First of all, I didn't ask you, what's your age classification? Are you a junior, senior?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior, okay. So what's this been like for you so far? You're kind of one of the leaders on this team. It says here that you're probably the best player and can play almost every position, right? So, I mean, come on. Talk to me about it. What's this season be like?
It's been really good. We've had a bunch of good players. We have people that can play everywhere. You put them out there, they get a job done no matter what. I mean, I couldn't have handpicked a better group of girls to spend my senior year with. They make being a senior easy. I've loved every second of it.
What's the balance like as a kid right now in this world, post-COVID, different things like that? Being a student athlete, being a student in general. Talk to us about the balance of that.
I mean, we have really good teachers in our community that help us around, like knowing that we're super busy. They help us and they give us extensions if need do, and they help us with our work. And I mean, they work really well with us being athletes, and we've been super, super busy this year. So I mean, they've done an amazing job all around. We have an amazing counselor who's also our assistant coach who helps us constantly, whether that be us doing work on the way up to games or doing our sophomores taking their AP classes all together at once. I mean, I think we've balanced it very well, and it can be difficult, but I feel like we have a really good group of girls that can manage that really well.
So I know how softball girls are with their coaches. You guys kind of have a relationship where you kind of bicker back and forth at each other. But get a little honest with me for just a moment. It's his first year here. Obviously, Shane Hill, kind of a legend at Turner, now the AD. What's it been like getting to know this guy next to us?
Well, for me and a couple other players, we've been playing with him for a little while.
Okay.
He was our tournament softball coach, so we knew what we were going to have to deal with this year, and definitely a handful. Don't get us wrong, but he deals with us, and we deal with him, and it's been great. It's been fun, and I think we're doing good.
So with that relationship, I knew that, by the way. I knew that you guys had kind of played under him for just a little while. This now being your high school softball coach, what's it mean to help him get to the tournament in his first year for you girls?
I think it means quite a bit because I mean he took a chance on a team that you've heard people say we weren't going to be very good because we lost a lot of people. So him coming up here and wanting to prove people wrong with us, it means a lot because we did have a lot of people who doubted us. So, and he took a chance on just small town Turner who lost 5 people,
4 or 5,
graduated
yeah,
5 or so, and they were all really good players. So, I mean, just for him to come out here and work with us and put in the effort and the time every single day, it means so much. And I know all the girls can back me up on that.
Absolutely. So Love County Coaches Show live from the Taste here in Marietta, Oklahoma. Real quick, we want to thank some of our sponsors before we take a quick break. The 20 MSP Quality Printing and Design, Arbuckle Title and Abstract, the Marietta Monitor, of course, your Farm Bureau, your Oklahoma Farm Bureau agent, Sam Barrick, and American Nation Bank. We'll be right back with you. Hey, folks, we're back here with you on the Love County Coaches Show. Coach Forsyth, I ask football coaches on this thing every week, what have you seen on film? I'm going to guess you haven't seen a ton of film. Maybe you've seen some, but what have you seen from Arnett, and what are you guys kind of expecting the first game?
Well, I'm an old football coach, so I have found film on them, and trust
There
me, I've
you
been
go.
watching it.
He's found the huddle for sure.
Yeah, they, their pitcher's good. They're overall, they're 1 through 9. They're not bad. Their catcher's got a good arm. They're a good ball club. I mean, they play hard, so it's going to be a test for us.
So what does the tournament week look like for you guys headed into week 1? Obviously, you've got the first game at 6:30, but then after that, what would things look like if you were to advance? When you advance, I guess I should say.
Yeah, we would go. First game's at 6:30. and I ain't going to sit here and I don't look forward much past that. You know
Sure.
what I mean? I kind of tunnel vision.
Well, as in who's in the tournament is who won last year in the
Who was
tournament.
Stewart last year? Stewart's in it. They're I think they're ranked 4 or 5 there, so they're back in it. And Tupelo, they're in there. They're number 2, which we've beat twice this year. So, and I think we talked about that some, me and you. Then there's like 1 through 8. I mean, once you get there, there's not going to be a lot of difference.
Absolutely. So exactly, you're playing good teams the whole time you're up there. It's not like some of these tournaments that you go to where you kind of know this team may be a little off.
Yeah.
How do you manage arms? I know, especially. How do you manage a tournament of this caliber as a coach?
Well, I mean, you got our pitcher Chloe Scarborough, which she's out there somewhere. I don't know what she's doing, but she'll be our pitcher. We're gonna lean on her, and if she can go 3 days, we're gonna throw her 3 days.
Sure.
I call her Bubba, so that's just what I've always. But if she has to, she can come in. She can also start a game. So there we're in pretty good shape. We feel like either which way we go there. So.
Okay, last question, real quick. I want to ask Addison. A lot of adversity, I would say, in the community thrown at you guys this year as far as the graduation thing that you mentioned. Your faith, I know you guys have leaned on that a lot this year. Connor was just telling me about you guys do some sort of symbol. Why don't you show the camera what you guys do when you score, different things?
Crosses.
Absolutely. So talk to us about leaning on your faith this year and how that's kind of helped you guys propel to the tournament.
I mean, we play for one, and that's God. So that's our first priority, and we try to glorify Him at all times, whether that be on and off the field. When we make errors and make mistakes and we get in our heads, we try to radiate that energy through positivity. I mean, we've struggled with that. Every teenage girl struggles with that, but we've had amazing people to lean on. We've had speakers come out. For example, Sherry came out and talked to us and just helps motivate us, and just we have so many people to lean on, and we lean on one another to help us stay positive and make those good decisions even whenever we're struggling at bats and stuff. We just try to lean on Him at all times, even when it gets hard, but that's what we have one another for. So
awesome. Hey, awesome. Good luck to you guys. Everybody out there, give them a round of applause for being brave and coming up here on the PA and all that good stuff. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I know there's a lot of people here in Love County that are really supporting you guys, and hopefully you guys could feel it all the way from Shawnee.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Hey, when we come back, we'll have Coach Doby, Coach Barrett from Marietta and Thackerville on the Love County Coaches Show. Hey, back here with you on the Love County Coaches Show with the Marietta Monitor, the 20 MS sponsoring this thing, Quality Printing and Design, Arbuckle Title and Abstract. The Marietta Monitor, of course, your Oklahoma Farm Bureau agent, Sam Barrick, and American Nation Bank. I've got Coach Dobie with me of the Marietta Indians. Tough start to the year last week. Hosted Atoka at home, only the second home game of the year. That one, a 42-0 loss. Coach, talk to me about the first district game and kind of what the process is going to be headed into this week against Tishomingo.
So, first district game against Colgate at Colgate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we didn't have a show that week.
No,
so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Game started about as good as we could possibly start all year. You know, we drove down the field, kind of stalled out about the 30, kicked a 40-yard field goal. Their first possession, they turn it over, we take it. And then threw an interception, and then kind of wheels fell off from there, you know, and those kids fought hard. They came out halftime and played about as good as we played all year. It's one of those things that, you know, I talk to them and I go, you know, they played relaxed in the second half, but the game's already out of the way. So they got to find a way to be able to do that off the bus, you know.
So this week against Atoka, or I guess this last week, you lined up the first play of the game with a freshman quarterback who didn't line up, I believe, the week before at that position, or maybe the week before that against Ringling. I can't remember. Seemed like Kaysen was making some big plays. There was a couple plays there. One in particular, that run where he took off. You immediately could tell he wasn't going to be able to throw it anywhere, and he had the lane. And that from a ninth grader had to have been nice to watch.
I am with these ninth graders in general, but with Kaysen Lott, you know, he took over in Colgate. Dylan Terrell, our starter, was injured actually on the interception. And, you know, when he came in, he had about 4 plays that we were able to kind of run through him. He was real comfortable with, and he spent all weekend watching film and working with us as coaches. And when he went in there against Atoka, he was a different player, and he ran the show, and he was very decisive. And I couldn't be more proud of his development, his care, I guess is the right word for that. I mean, he has put in as much work and passion towards that position, and he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Absolutely. This roster is growing rapidly. Not something, and I don't mean this in a bad way, it's just a factual way. It's not something you usually see from a team who hasn't won a game headed into district play, but the roster is growing. What is that? What's going on there? Is it you or no? I'm kidding.
I'm not taking any credit.
Absolutely,
it's these young men. I mean, people worry about, you know, how they acting. They show up, they're ready to go. They can see. You know, we watch film. We've talked about this all year. They know we're very close, and you know, I did a roster breakdown. We're 82% freshmen, sophomores. And so when you look at that, you go, okay, over the next couple of years, this part of the pie gets bigger.
Well, you just talked about your 8th and 9th grade team. You know, they went and played Medill this week. I forgot what the score of that was, but
it was 20-8.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty physical. I mean, they physically imposed their will. It was really impressive. I mean, they're getting better because they're playing on Friday night, so it's kind of refreshing for them to get to play kids their own age. And you can tell. You really can. And that 8th grade group has some tremendous athletes. Those 2 groups together, coupled with our sophomore group that we have right now, that's going to be pretty fun over the next couple of years.
Seems like right now, Coach, it seems like the play calling's there. It seems like the effort's there. It just seems like right now the age is where the main hiccup is. It just seems like a missed assignment here, a missed assignment there. Everything adds up eventually.
We talked to them. I mean, they're getting further apart. In terms of mistakes, we'll go begin the season. We may be one good play, then one bad play. Now we can put a drive together, and then, you know, we threw a backwards pass, and that was an 11-yard loss. Well, we're not good enough to overcome, you know, 2nd and 21. Yeah. So they understand we've got to stay ahead of the chains, and when we do, we're going to be able to put people in binds. I mean, the scheme is unbelievable. I'm a defensive guy, and getting lined up to that thing, it caused some problems the other night. And when we had them in a bind, we just didn't execute it at a high level to take advantage of it. Right. And then defensively, against Atoka, we were in position 99% of the time. We had one blown assignment, and it wound up, you know, that cost us. But they had a couple of receivers that they could really run.
Yeah.
And I have a freshman and sophomore at corner, and they just stayed in their back pedal too long.
Well,
And,
yeah, they had those inside runs because they were lining up in that power I formation, but
Right.
really, truly, the only offense they had is when they would just kind of throw it
Yeah,
up there and
yeah.
somebody would catch it. I mean, other than that, there really wasn't anything as a defensive coach that you
Right.
could be too mad about.
Well, we talk about make them earn it,
Mhm.
you know, and if they're better than us, then you can kind of sleep at night. You can say we did everything we could. And, you know, we're always teaching, and I have a freshman that, you know, he got burnt on the very first play and they just overthrew it.
Mhm.
And, I told him, hey, next time you better get into his space and make him run through you. And he did a great job. Then the sophomore watched one go by him. So
Yeah.
they are learning at a very fast pace.
Mhm.
And it's kind of exciting because I'm not having to coach the same thing twice at practice.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to, you know, on defensive side, we're getting to be a little bit more complicated and disguise some coverages and do some stuff. So they just don't know that young kid standing over there by himself. So
Sure.
the more adaptable they become, the better we'll be.
Well, that's enough about the past. Let's talk about the future. This Friday night, you guys have Tishomingo.
Yeah.
Obviously, a district matchup. You guys are very familiar with them. You guys play each other in every sport.
Right.
What have you seen on film so far this year? And what's your expectation headed into this week?
Oh, they're kind of similar to us on offense. They're going to do a lot of formations, and their quarterback can spin it pretty good. Luckily, they don't have two guys that can really just burn. So, in terms of just making them execute offensively, that's our goal. And then, you know, we had 6 takeaways against Atoka, and if we can mirror that, and then our offense can match us. By just limiting the mistakes. That's all they got to do on offense, and let the rest take care of itself.
You guys have had a lot of road games this year. You've got another one this week. Obviously, this one not as far, but what's that been like, especially with some of these younger, newer guys that are additions, you know, 2-3 weeks after you guys have been playing?
You know, there's pros and cons to being long road trips with a young team. Either sometimes it's good, get them away. Maybe it's less distractions, but when it comes to some of the cons, it's a maturity thing. How are you going to get off the bus? How are you going to handle a 2.5-hour ride, or even Colgate's an hour and 50 on the bus, you know, and that's if we don't hit some of the construction or traffic that we got going on. So they're doing much better each week of learning how to prepare, you know. By about 5:30, when we start taping and doing all the good stuff, I mean, we take their phones up and they're starting to lock in. There's not a lot of goofing off going on anymore. And they're starting to approach it, you know. But ninth graders here in about 2 weeks are essentially sophomores. They're finally, you know, I can tell they're growing up.
Yeah.
And so it's getting more and more where I can take a deep breath. All right, we're going to compete tonight. We're going to do what we got to do. I mean, the first half against Atoka, we coached hard. It was fun. You know, second half, that young team came out of the locker room.
Yeah.
And so we challenge them, put 4 quarters together. So we'll see what we can get this Friday. They've had a really good practice. Even today, after playing that physical ball game last night, they came out and practiced. So the growing up is there. And so it's time. It's time to start limiting your mistakes and doing your job and making plays.
That's Coach Dobie of the Marietta Indians on the Love County Coaches Show. Good luck to you guys this week. Hopefully next week we will be talking about the first W of the year.
Yes,
so when we come back, we've got Mark Barrett, the head coach of the Thackerville Wildcats, will join the show.
Okay.
Hey, back here with you on the Love County Coaches Show. Bryson here with you alongside Connor Choate. This thing brought to you by the 20 Quality Printing and Design, Arbuckle Title and Abstract, the Marietta Monitor, your Oklahoma Farm Bureau agent, Sam Barrick, and American Nation Bank. Mark Barrett, what can you say about Mark Barrett? No, scheduling conflict is what we'll say about Mark Barrett. And he beat Sasakwa last week, 58-12. I texted him after the game and I said, "Hey, what happened?" And he just texted back, "Domination." So that's pretty much it. And they're currently ranked number 1 in the region. They play Maysville this week, Maud the following week, which is going to be a big game because they're 1-2 right now in that district. 8-man football, kind of crazy sometimes. You never know what's going to happen. But Thackerville looking really good after a couple of hard non-district losses. Last week, Justice Rodriguez, 6 rushes, 53 yards. Joey, is that Tyree or Tyre?
I think it's Tyree.
Tyree. Man, sorry. 5 rushes, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. 2 touchdowns for Austin Tyree. As well as Hernandez had 61 yards on 5 rushes and 2 touchdowns. Justice also 7 for 10, 111 yards in the air on a true 8-man field, by the way. 3 touchdowns. True 8-man field means it's not as big. And receiving yards, Luke Foreman had 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hernandez also had a receiving touchdown in addition to that rushing touchdown. So fun night, sounds like, for the Thackerville Wildcats, and headed to play Maysville this week. And we're getting into that fun time of year in especially in 8-man football because they play their state championship a couple weeks before everybody else. And so this should be pretty interesting, Connor.
Yeah, it should be pretty fun. I mean, and I'm going to say what Coach Barrett would say right now. We're undefeated, right? Because he doesn't consider the first 2 losses as actual losses. Those were preseason games.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they're just really hitting their flow right now. It seems like they're firing on all cylinders. They've got everybody playing right. So for Thackerville Wildcats, it just seems like they kind of hold the keys to their own destiny right now.
Absolutely. And we're rooting for them this week against Maysville. I'm sure Coach Barrett will have double the amount of things to say next week. And I'm sure he's watching right now.
So.
Exactly. And don't see any comments, anything like that. So I guess we'll wrap this thing up.
Hey, who do you got this weekend? OU, Texas. Come on.
Come on, Connor. I mean,
predictions.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other team? Now, okay, I will say, we'll see how good that defense really is whenever they come out of the tunnel at the Cotton Bowl this week.
That's kind of how I feel. Look, disdain for Texas as is, but,
I'm never going to say Texas is going to win until they actually win. You know what I'm saying? So, which I was there that year. Caleb Williams came in, the middle of the game, and I thought they were going to lose then. So, last year, of course, kind of ugly, but even if they get their backs against the wall in the first half next week, or this Saturday morning, got 11 a.m. kickoff, right?
Right during the middle of the day.
Yeah, well, and the biggest game of the week. Anyway, maybe the biggest game of the year, but, let's have it at noon. But anyway, I don't know, man. It looks pretty fun up in Norman right now. I need to get up to a game. We need to go, don't we?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about watching it. I hope we can get up to a game. We need to. But,
absolutely.
Hey, I'm saying 35-10, Longhorns going down. I think that the quick screen passes that Texas does all the time, the cornerbacks for OU just really swarm to it. I'm saying 35-10, baby. I'm going Boomer Sooner all the way.
If you're going to make me pick a number, I'm going to go high scoring, probably like 56, 51, something like that in there. Half 100 would be nice, right?
You've heard
got to
here.
talk to Coach Barry Switzer last week, and that's what we said. So anyway, hey, Connor Choate here of the Marietta Monitor, Quality Printing and Design, which congratulations. I know we've talked about it a little bit, but you guys are really doing something cool. With Quality Printing and Design. So be sure, I'm sure Connor would love to give you a tour of that room over there. So go by the Monitor, get a tour of that new awesome printer that they have. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing. The Taste. Just really want to thank the Taste for hosting us, for allowing us to do the coaches show. We had a full house today.
A
for
full
tournament.
dining room here at the Taste, and a lot of chicken tenders, I'm sure,
It
with
was-
these high
it-
school girls.
Yeah,
So
it was awesome to see. So it was great to have them, and
Absolutely.
go Lady Falcons this weekend, and hopefully they bring back the state title. We can do it again next week
Good.
with the state championship trophy. So
that's what I was about to say. Next week, EJ Forsyth, the Turner Lady Falcons, and the state championship trophy is going to be right here in the middle of the table. We will see you then right here on the Love County Coaches Show. Thanks, Connor.
all right, see you.